Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to learn how to move a player using the arrow keys or WASD. So the first thing we're going to do is go to Game Object, 3D Object, and then Cylinder, and this is going to act as our player. We're going to change the Y position of our player to 1. Then we're going to create another Game Object, 3D Object, and go to Plane. And that's going to be our ground, and we're going to keep it in its default position. Alright, now we're going to make some materials, so what we're going to do is go to the Assets folder, right-click, go to Create, and then Material. I'm going to call this Player Matte. And then we will make this a nice red color. Drag that onto the player. Then we'll right-click, create another material, call this Ground Matte. And then we will make that a nice light blue color and drag that onto the plane. Alright, now we can't really see anything that's going on in our scene right now, so what we're going to do is go to the hierarchy, right click, go to light, and then go to directional light, and now we can see everything that's going on in our scene. So we want to make our player move. We want to make it so that when we hit the left arrow or the A key, we go left, or if we hit the right arrow or the D key, we go right. So in order to do this, we need to go to our Assets folder, right-click, go to Create C# script, and we will call this Movement. And we'll double-click it so that we can open it. Alright, so we want to manipulate the X-axis so that our player will move along the X-axis when we hit the left or right arrows. So what we want to do is type transform .translate, and you want to make sure translate is has a capital T because a lowercase t means something different. It's going to have 3 parameters. The first is going to be what helps our player to move along the x-axis, so we're going to type input .get axis parentheses, and within the parentheses we put quotes. In the parentheses we put quotes, and we put horizontal. Alright, and this will allow our player to move along the x-axis. Now we have to do one more thing. We have to multiply that by time.delta time. Alright, and then we have to set our y and z values to 0. And that should be all we need to do for now. So let's go ahead and save this. Go back to our project. We'll go ahead and select our cylinder, and we'll drag the movement script onto the cylinder. Alright, and then everything that we've done in the movement script should be applied to the player, so we'll go ahead and hit play. And when I hit the left arrow key, our player goes left. And when I hit the right arrow key, our player goes right. Okay, looking good so far. The biggest problem we have right now is that our player is moving incredibly slow, and we don't necessarily want that. So what I'm going to do is exit play mode, go back into our script, and we're going to create a public float, and we're going to call it speed. And then in the start function, we're going to set speed equal to 10. And then we're going to, if we want the speed to be applied to our player, then we need to go to our x value under transform.translate, and we need to multiply it by speed. Alright, and then let's go ahead and save again. Go back to our scene, and then let's hit play. And now you can see we move a lot faster. Alright, and we can manipulate the speed as well. If we go over here to the inspector, we can make it 100, and then if we click back into the scene, now we're going really fast. We can also make it go really slow. If we hit 2, click back into the scene, and now we're going really slow again. So it's really whatever you feel is best. We're going to exit play mode, and you'll notice that it defaults back to 0 again. That's okay. If you find a speed you like, you can simply just go back to the start function and just edit it. Go to 100, go to 2, whatever you like best. I like 10, so we're going to keep it at 10. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we can move left and right, but we also want to be able to move forward and backward on the z-axis. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back into our script, and where we put 0 on the z parameter, we're going to delete that. We're going to copy our code on the x parameter, and we're going to paste it into the z parameter, and then we're going to replace horizontal with vertical. Alright, and we'll go ahead and save, go back to our project, hit play, and then we can go left and right. We can also go backwards and forwards. Backwards if I hit the up arrow or the W key, and then forwards if I hit the down arrow or the S key. Alright, so our camera is in kind of a weird position right now. So far, well, for one thing, we can't see the ground that our cylinder is on top of, so that's kind of a problem. So what we're going to do is change the camera settings. So we're going to go into the main camera. We're going to change the Y position to be 3.8, and then we're going to change the X rotation to be 30. Alright, now we're going to hit play again, and now you can see we can actually see our ground, and we have a bit we have more depth perception when our player goes backwards or when it goes forwards. As you can see, when it leaves the plane, it doesn't fall or anything, so I'll probably cover that in the next video. Other than that, I think we've covered everything I wanted to cover, so thank you guys for watching. Leave your questions in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.